All right, so what are
So-
we doing first? The TWAB or the update, or you just want to taka?
Well, we normally do the intro. We normally talk before the intro. Then we have the
Always talk
titles,
before the intro.
and then we do the intro. Then we do. No, what do we do? I don't know what we do.
Professionals, by the way.
Yep. There's stuff before the titles roll. This is what happens. That gets put in or not put in. Then the titles, which are now.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
And then we come back and we say, welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. And I am Nitedemon, and that is Respawn. And that's all we have this week.
I Respawn.
Yeah, that's all we have this week. There's no Peroty. I think he got upset with the picture that we put in the TWAB last week of just you and me standing with like the fire happening around us. And he was like, nope, I'm out. That's it.
To be fair, we went through a lot of stuff to get that picture, and he just wasn't online. He would have been there, but he just wasn't available.
I think he's just jealous. So he's like, nope, that's it. You two can do the show by yourselves this week. So that's what you've got. You've got Respawn and Nitedemon.
Oh, man. The Titans this season, they are just laying into y'all so heavily. That barricade y'all have, like Le Monarch is a DPS boss thing. Freaking Anarchy. Freaking Osteostriga. Freaking this season's grenade launcher from the seasonal activity.
Le Monarch?
No, the grenade launcher. Yeah, what do you mean Le Monarch? Why'd you say it like that? You don't know?
What? The Le Monarch, the void bow?
Yeah.
Or Trinity Cool, the electric bow?
No, it's Le Monarch. Okay, so you know how you pop your barricade, and as long as you're standing behind it, you start building stacks of bolt charge.
Bolt charge,
right?
So this is the new arc aspect that we've got, isn't it? That you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay, that you can go and pick up from Ikora, which Peroty told us about last week. Yep, go on, carry on.
Yep. So apparently, at least for now, because Bungie hasn't said they're going to change it, every tick of Le Monarch's poison damage counts for stacking your bolt charge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So because it is any weapon that is fired from behind the barricade, isn't it? Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So right now that poison is counting, and so is Osteostriga's poison, by the way. Right. So
okay, so that's the submachine gun, yeah. And what about Thorn? Would Thorn work? Because that does tick damage, doesn't it?
I haven't seen anything about Thorn. I would assume it would. But the amount of tick damage Thorn does is not comparable to Osteostriga or Le Monarch, I would think.
Right.
So, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that. Theoretically, yeah, it sounds possible. But I just haven't seen anything about it. But yeah, so your barricade and so many weapons is just deleting bosses solo. I saw somebody solo the dungeon's second encounter with the 4 Shriekers. He just soloed it in like a couple of minutes, just standing behind a barricade going plop, 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 plop with Le Monarch. I'm like, damn, gone, dude. It's crazy strong. That barricade with your bolt charge is ridiculous this season, man. You don't need anything else. Super, who cares? Extra abilities, who cares? I have a barricade with bolt charge and literally any weapon. I've heard it's also good with other weapons that also have bolt charge on their own, like the season's machine gun, where you can have bolt charge on it. The season's grenade launcher, and I know I'm saying all these words and not giving y'all names, but the Watchful Eye, it can get jolting feedback, and it can also get bolt charge, I think, on it.
Okay.
So that works, and then the season's grenade launcher, which I apparently don't have on me, but it's called
the Psycho Pump.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that one. It also has Rolling Storm, right? And that apparently also procs bolt charge a lot. Apparently, I mean, it's just so many things. Just proc behind your barricade and just do bonkers damage. I mean, it's crazy. You guys are
So
just
your Rolling Thunder is a trait which is final blows grant bolt charge, while amplified final blows grant additional bolt charge. Okay, so
yeah.
that works really well on it. So I'm not looking for any other thing on there, am I? Am I just looking for
For
Rolling Storm?
let me see what other rolls
What
it
about
has.
Eddy Current? No?
Eddy Current doesn't really do anything as far as like tick damage or anything like that. Well, actually, no. Eddy Current helps you build stacks with something when you're
Temporarily
amplified,
increases
right?
reload speed and handling after sprinting or while amplified.
I
So I
mean,
suppose while you're amplified, it helps you with the reload if you've got the grenade launcher,
mm-hmm.
because you haven't got an auto-loading holster. You've got Envious Arsenal on there. So, yeah, okay. So again, that Watchful Eye, the machine gun, can get Rolling Thunder and Eddy Current as well, which is quite good for machine gun. Or you could use Mulligan, so when you miss shots, you have a chance to return it to the magazine, or Overflow.
There's a lot of really good rolls on there, and like it's.
I know
hard
you
to
went through them
decide
last week, but I was just
one.
like, yeah, okay, yeah, I kind of maybe I should be looking out for those ones.
Because I have an overflow jolting feedback, I have an overflow killing tally, I have an overflow target lock, right? I don't have an overflow sword logic. But with elemental honing, it is a really powerful buff, but it is kind of a lot of hoops to jump through. And
Yeah, but sometimes when you get all the hoops, kind of, if you jump through all the hoops and you get it procced, it's worth kind of doing.
it is, except when you get all 5 stacks, this is the caveat. Like, until you get the 5 stacks, you can keep refreshing the buff, right? But once you get those 5 stacks, you cannot refresh the buff. You have to wait for the timer to go down, and then you have to reapply all 5 stacks if you want to do it again. That to me is a little annoying. That's the part that I don't like, the whole jump through the hoops thing. Like once I go through and I get it going, like I throw like my strand grenade, and I throw my ice shuriken, or maybe do an ice dodge, hit them with a strand weapon, and then come back with my arc, this gun or whatever. That's like 4 or 5 stacks right there, right? And if I go through the trouble to get that and I get it going, right, I would like the ability to keep refreshing the buff, like you can with the other stacks. But when you hit that 5th stack, you can't refresh it, and that's kind of annoying. But people are saying it's worth it. I'm just like, I get it's a 40% buff, and it is 40% if you guys don't know it, max stacks. And if it ever rolls out a kinetic weapon, that is a 50% buff, right? But that being the case, keeping it going is a bit of a pain. I just like overflow and or field prep with, any of the other ones, man. Rolling Thunder, jolting feedback, killing tally, freaking target lock. It's a lot of good stuff in that gun, man. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I can't decide what I want.
Well, I'm glad that you're able to play in your candy store this week, because I haven't been able to play anything. I know you messaged to like see if we can get on and do the dungeon and things, but I was like, no, I've just got so much. I've got so much to do, and then family decided to invade home, so I was like, there goes all my Destiny time. I did jump on this morning, and I played the initial kind of step for like the second week mission of going to the Witch Queen's throne and talking to her, and she was like, "Butt out, this is family." I'm like, okay, cool. Now what? Go and play more Nether.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've got to go and play some more Nether. I've also got to do the exotic mission because I haven't managed to do that.
It's really easy. There's just a lot of small steps to it, right? So you
Yeah.
don't have to go through and do anything like real hardcore or anything like that. You just have to like step left, step right, step forward, step back, step left.
Mhm.
Now go to this other place and do the same thing. Now go to this other place and do the same thing. Now go to this other place. It's super tedious,
But is it worth it? Is the Barrow-Dyad worth
Right
getting?
now, no. But we also don't have the catalyst. All the catalysts unlocked yet. So that could really change how this gun performs overall. But right now, in its base form, it's nothing to write home about. It's a cool gun. It's an interesting gun. But like the jump damage that it does is hardly any damage at all, right? Because I don't know if you know, but the projectiles, when you shoot anybody, it jumps really far to hit somebody else that's quote close to it.
Right.
Does anybody know if recuperation works in the Nether? No, it does not. Recuperation does not work. You have to rely on either weapon heals,
Are you
and even then,
sure?
it's only some weapon heals, guys.
Are you
Sorry.
sure it's not working? Because they have patched it this week. I really wanted to get into the Nether
Well, I've been in
and
there all
test.
week and I haven't been doing any healing.
No, but
right?
it's. I think it was patched Thursday, just
Yeah,
before the
and I
12 came
played
out.
yesterday
Okay.
most of the day, and I still didn't notice any extra healing. But I mean, I would still say no. I'll double check, but my knee-jerk reaction is all day playing yesterday. I didn't see it working. I still wasn't doing any healing, despite the fact that I created like 400 orbs. So
I know Cheese Forever put out a video this week, which I will link in the show notes, going over some of the changes and things that you can now use that weren't able to be used last week. So
okay.
you could check that one out.
I'm absolutely going to check that out because that'll change my build substantially.
But Barrow-Dyad, let's get back to that.
Yeah, that. So yes, it does jump to multiple targets, and it's good for like low tier encounter ad clear, right? Because the little things will jump to other ads and it'll do some damage. It's not much, right? And it's also not a weapon of sorrow, which I thought it would be based on its look. I'm like, cool, we got a new weapon of sorrow. It's not. So there's also no poison damage to add on top of that, right?
I think Bungie are very careful with what they add to the game that is a weapon of sorrow. And I think they want to kind of keep it unique and not put too many weapons in there. And I get it. It's an exotic weapon, and it by all accounts, it should be, from what it does, a weapon of sorrow. But I think
and
they
where
just
it's
want to
from and how you get it. Everything about it tells you it should be a weapon of sorrow. But as of right now, it's not.
But saying that, they could change it. I mean, they've changed so many other things. I mean, you were quite upset about what they changed with the hard light. They do change exotic weapons, and they do change weapons over time to go, oh, by the way, this is now this is now this. So it could in the future become a weapon of sorrow, but I think they just don't want to add so many more different variations. No, we've got strand weapons, we've got stasis weapons, we've got kinetic weapons, we've got void, arc, and solar. And it's like weapons of sorrow, and it's like so many different kind of things to juggle. And I don't think they want to add another thing into the mix while they're kind of just getting the game that good balance of people enjoying the game and it actually working. Yeah.
I hear you.
Well, working to some extent anyway. From every time something kind of gets patched or something comes into the game, there always just seems to be another knock-on effect of, Heresy came into the game. Oh, okay, Revenant now doesn't work. It's like, now we need to do that, and now this doesn't work. Now we need to do this. Now that doesn't work. It's like, and your Respawn's report roundup this week is a kind of
hodgepodge. Yeah,
is a testament to that. It's like, well, we fixed one thing, but now something else isn't. Or we've put something in the game. Oh, that doesn't work. So yeah.
But going back to what you said earlier about, for example, the hard light, I had to correct a YouTuber, a very popular YouTuber whose name I won't say. But they were talking about a hunter build with the new aspect we have and how great it works with the hard light. And one of the very specific things he mentioned is the fact that hard light has no fall off means you can shoot enemies from anywhere. And I was like, I think you might have missed something there, bud. Hard light.
You've been away from the game for a bit of time. Yeah, you've been away from the game for a little bit of time.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to correct him on that, and I wonder if he just thought that I was just like talking smack or whatever. He goes, "No, it's even in the lore." I know, I know. Trust me, I know.
Your Barrow-Dyad that you get initially, the one that you actually get from the exotic quest this week. Mm-hmm. What does it actually come with? Because there's, I'm looking at D2 right Foundry, and it tells you all the different things.
Hammerforged rifling, flared magwell, taken divergence, which kind of sounds like it's a dead perk because the next perk does that. Plus more, and smooth grip, and that's it.
Okay,
yeah,
smooth grip. So the taken divergence? It just says on D2 Foundry. It says this weapon resonates with your choices. So
yeah. So what it does for right now is when you shoot an enemy, you build stacks of taken blight, right?
Yeah.
If you don't reload, the taken blight will be consumed to refill your ammo just passively, right?
Right.
If you do reload, you'll get indicators of taken blight on like right underneath your targeting reticule that tells you based on this number of hits or enemies killed or whatever, I can't remember what it is, you have this many shots that will bounce and ricochet between other enemies. And that's all it does right now. Yeah.
So is that the main exotic trait, the panic response? So this weapon generates blights as it deals damage, while not firing, blight depletes and the magazine is gradually refilled. Reloading the weapon to convert stored blight into blight seekers. Okay. So yeah, on D2 Foundry, the next one underneath your taken divergence is taking resolution. It says hitting 3 targets generates a large amount of blight. Blight seekers bore through targets. And then the one underneath that is taken ambition, which is blight generated increases the longer this weapon remains on target, and blighted seekers burrow into targets and explode.
Yeah. So then it becomes like a malfeasance type weapon. Again,
Okay.
weapon of sorrow. No, malfeasance isn't sorrow. But it sounds like it should be, you know?
Yeah. And then the final column is high impact reserves, refit. Rounds at the end of the magazine deal more damage. Hatchling refit, which is precision final blows or rapidly defeating targets with this weapon. Spawn the threadlings at the location. One for all. And target lock.
Target
so I
lock
think
is going to be one for all is going to be the one to go for. And I'll tell you why.
Hatchling, no?
No, target lock.
No? Okay.
Target lock.
Well, tell me
and
why.
I'll tell you why. Because one of the perks about this weapon is if you just shoot the same enemy, you'll build stacks of blight. But if you shoot 3 different enemies, you get a big stack of blight all at once, right? So it encourages you to shoot at least 3 enemies to get the big chunk of blight all at once, right? And your little blight seekers, they're going to jump to multiple targets once you reload. And when they jump to multiple targets, that is also going to proc one for all to give you the damage buff, just kind of passively, you know? So, yeah, they don't kill enemies as much as you'd want them to for the threadlings to be a thing, but you are going to be hitting multiple enemies. So the one for all is definitely the go-to perk for the passive damage, just like all the time.
Okay.
It's not a very hard-hitting submachine gun, and it doesn't poison. So it's basically just a submachine gun. And just like you can't kill large mobs of enemies with normal submachine guns, you won't be able to do it with this one either. So the threadling thing, although it does sound fun, and it will be very synergistic with a lot of builds, as far as like damage with the gun, you want the one for all. In my humble opinion, after using it for a bit.
So you don't get this gun from the dungeon, do you? This is just a separate exotic quest. So you've got the exotic from the dungeon, which should be a random drop if it does go.
Oh, you mean the exotic? Yeah, the exotic is random. This gun, you go into the seasonal activity, the Nether, and in one of the areas that you start in, if you look around and kind of look up, there's going to be a blight that wasn't there before. And there's usually kind of an indication that this is a new blight because there's now like a step to get to it where there wasn't before, right? So you go in that thing, and the first thing you'll see is a pad on the ground pointing a certain direction, and one of those hive circular symbols on the wall that doesn't have a symbol in it, right?
Yeah.
You stand on the pad, and then in the bottom left-hand corner, it'll say like the whispers whisper left or right or something, right? And then based on the direction that they tell you, you move that direction, and then you'll get teleported into the room behind the wall that you can't get past. And that's when you pick up the fragment to start your exotic quest.
Okay. And does it explore kind of some of the rooms that we haven't been able to get access to on the Dreadnought? A bit like the Sunless Cell, where we had it was completely dark, and all we had was the Thrall and the Dark Blade running around in there, and it was quite a small room. So does it go those kind of areas, or is it where else was there? There was the Shield Brothers. There was that strike as well.
So, full disclosure, I was dragged to the exotic quest, and there was a lot of "come on, follow me." I didn't really have a whole lot of time to look around, so
you didn't pay attention. Okay, fair enough.
Well, it's not a matter of paying attention. Even if it was, I didn't have enough time. Like, the person that dragged me through literally just wanted to get over and done with. I finished that thing in like 30 minutes. You know, like it was really fast. So I don't want to give you bad info. I don't know. There's a lot of big areas and one of them could have been what you're talking about, but none of them are dark. They're all lit because of the
No, I was thinking like the strikes that we had in Destiny 1. We had the Dark Blade strike where you went through like the Shrieker area where we would cower behind those doors with scout rifles, trying to get somebody to go down and bait the Shriekers to open up so that we could then take them out. those three shriekers, and then we could go down into that kind of pit area in pitch black. And then we had the Shield Brothers, which was kind of the two Cabal in that big open arena that kept dropping the shields and protecting each other and swapping out. And I just wondered if it kind of revisited some of those areas. So I'm quite excited to go and actually do some of that, if I can do some of that before I go on holiday.
I mean, now's as good a time to start as any.
Did you manage to keep the checkpoint that I gave you for the dungeon the other day? I didn't manage to catch up with you and check, or did you have to go back to
I've done the dungeon 3 or 4 times since then. So, short answer, no.
And that only happened by mistake. I was queuing in to do a Vault of Glass checkpoint to go and get my Vault of Glass weapons, which again I will link in the show notes for the checkpoint bots. And I'd missed my jump to get onto the Vault of Glass. And because I was late joining the group, they'd already kind of gone. But the bot kind of just cycles through these checkpoints. So it's the same bot that comes up in your invites. So if you join it at the wrong time, you could get any kind of location. So I ended up with the dungeon checkpoint. And I was like, this isn't what I wanted. And I realized that I hadn't accepted the invitation when it popped up first of all. So, yeah, that's how come I kind of missed that. So I do apologize if I took somebody's spot for that. Because that's bad of me. I do like how we communicated, because I was like, Respawn's in here and he's not talking. I checked all the different kind of things. I came out of our chat. I was talking to Blue at the same time, came out of the chat to speak to you. You weren't in the chat. And I was like, I came back in the chat to Blue and I said, he's not talking. And Blue's like, oh, he's typing. I'm like, okay, cool. What are we doing then? He's like, we've got to move some mirrors. I'm like, okay. And I kept moving these mirrors, and he kept going to me, no, that isn't it. No, that isn't it. No, Respawn saying something in the chat. Hang on a second. I'm like, I can't. Hang on a second. There's lots of enemies shooting me.
Typing to you in the chat. Do you have your chat turned off?
I did, yeah.
Typing the whole time. Oh, you punk. Yeah, no.
It really annoys me. It really annoys me, that chat, because on console it pops up and then it just stays there, and I could be like 2 days down the line, and the chat from 2 days ago is still sitting in that corner. I'm like, that really aggravates me. I mean, to the point at the moment, it's aggravating me with those subtitles coming up, because I'm like, well, I haven't done anything. I've just loaded in the game, or I've gone to the tower, I've come back to orbit, and there's subtitles of somebody talking and nothing actually happening. And I'm like, why? This never happened before. Why is it now happening? I don't like this. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to turn those subtitles off.
Well, yeah, so that is the whole point of it. And if you know your lore, right, it's kind of a fun thing, because especially the last encounter, basically the whole thing, but especially the last encounter, is based on the old game Two Truths and a Lie, right?
Yeah.
So
the thing that we had was
having to, like, because like the mechanic is you got to go find a bird, and whatever symbol the bird drops, you got to light the opposite side of that, right? But if you just look at the tablet in that final boss room, the left side, there's a left side and the right side. The left side from top down tells a story, and the right side from the top down tells a story, right? And one of them say like,
the Traveler destroyed the light, I think.
Traveler destroyed the light, which is a lie, and that's the one that you would light up, or just whatever, just you can just tell by looking at which one you have to light up, just based on which one's the truth and which one is a lie, which I thought was really cool. I was like, dude, nice. You can just like skip a whole mechanic if you just know the lore,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty fun. I like that a lot. And actually, the whole thing's pretty easy. The only hiccup is like I kind of need bodies for like boss DPS, and even then, like
you need a couple of Titans, don't you? You need Titans with barricades.
I haven't used Titans with barricades most of the time. Every time I've beaten it, it's been with 2 other hunters.
I think that's where you're struggling. You need some Titans.
No, we're not struggling. We're not struggling. We're doing it just fine, right? Yeah. But we are having to rely on Lord of Wolves, which is doing just nutty damage this season. I'm like, good lord, man. But yeah, good lord, Lord of Wolves. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, you just get 3 people and you hit fire Lord of Wolves, and boss health bars go away. It's crazy.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, if you want to run through.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds quite exciting that there's a lot of stuff still happening each week, and I do like the cadence of it, a weekly thing. Something is happening rather than kind of that big content drop. Because you imagine if this was all dropped in that first week, everybody would just kind of eaten it up and gone through it, and then for like 3-4 weeks before we get the next act, it'd be like, well, there's nothing to do in Destiny. Whereas I like the fact that you can play a little bit of the story the first week, and then you can go off and do other things. I mean, I've seen a lot more content from content creators going, I've played competitive, I've got this weapon, I've gone and done this, I've got this, actually going off and being able to do other things. Like the Vault of Glass was put in as one of the featured raids last week, along with the other two. And it was like nice for people to kind of play their little bit of the story and then just go off and do that if they wanted to do that and farm that for the week. So I do appreciate them kind of going back to this kind of weekly cadence of storytelling, and then you being able to do whatever you want. Now, what I'm a little bit concerned about, and I did hear a couple of other people talk about this, is that March 11th is when Act 2 drops. And then I think it's about 3 weeks later. So that was week 6, I think, is March 11th. And then April 1st is when Act 3 drops. And then potentially, if you've got to go through April and then you've got May round to June, you've got 2 months there of like 8 or 9 weeks before potentially Frontiers comes. Now, is it going to be something that is delayed? Because I think somebody said somewhere there was a calendar that dropped that had the date of something like July 15th on it, which would make it would be kind of delayed. Because if you think about it, last year we had the final shape in June. I think it was about the 4th of June. And if you're going to be delaying it for another month, I think maybe they don't want to kind of upset the boat at this too early, because it's slowly, gradually getting people to come back and play Destiny with all the changes that have happened. Even I've heard fantastic things about Trials this weekend with the amount of loot.
There's a lot of free loot, yeah.
Which I think will entice a lot more people to go in and play the mode, which is really good. But I'm a little bit worried that they haven't come out yet and said anything. They may not. I mean, we've got quite a few more months before we get to that point. But yeah, so March 11th is Act 2 and April 1st is Act 3 of Heresy. And
So, yeah, I see a lot of people playing Trials. I just don't see what's worth chasing in Trials, honestly.
I think it's new shaders, old shaders, emblems, old ships, sparrows. There's a load of loot in there if you haven't been able to kind of go and get it. So all the flawless rewards that you were able to get months and months and months back, or as far back as kind of Trials started in Destiny 2, you can get that loot now for just kind of playing the game. It's on a kind of knockout system, so you will get rewarded. You'll get some of these really nice armor sets, you'll get some of the shaders, you'll get some of the sparrows and the ships. So it's worth kind of doing it, and you also then have a chance to get the new stuff as well, and adepts. So you could replace some of the old kind of standard versions with an adept version, and then put adept mods in there. So there are things that are worth chasing. It's just whether you've got the time to go in there and chase it. So I'm hoping it's like in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, when it's kind of not the new hotness, that people will still be playing it.
As long as there's loot to chase, there's going to be people that play it. We both know that.
But next weekend's a different matter. Because you know what? There's no Trials next weekend.
Oh.
Because the banner's back. And it's changed yet again. So I've created another guide for people to go and check out on YouTube this week that goes over how it's changed from the last 2 episodes and what's been implemented. Because we had Iron Banner Control, Eruption, Fortress, and Tribute. And now, potentially, maybe at the end of this episode, we will get Rift. We have had Iron Banner Rift before, but they did mention that it would be coming back, but maybe towards the end of Heresy. So they've also detailed the date. So we've got next week, Tuesday, the 18th of February, then again on April 1st, and then again on April 29th, it'll be back. But then they haven't given us any other dates after that. And we're going to get 2 nodes. We're going to have the regular Iron Banner Control, and then there's going to be Iron Banner Quick Play, which could be any of the 4 game modes. So that's the thing that's kind of different, and it's also gone back to being 1 week. Again, I do cover this in kind of our guide, so go and check that out. But we've got some new gear. So we've got a new emblem called Saladin's Pride. We've got a new shader called Banner's Bearer. And you can also still get your mementos and chase the last episode's new armor that we got as well. So, and we've got a new weapon. We have the Warlord's Spear. It's an arc-adaptive frame trace rifle. So it's a well-rounded grip, reliable and sturdy. It can roll with dynamic sway reduction, envious assassin, high impact reserves, rewind rounds, hipfire grip, and loose change. And then we have desperate measures, killing tally, jolting feedback, target lock, 4th time's a charm, and then we have a new perk called Detonator Beam. And this is dealing sustained damage, creates an explosion around the target. So what do you reckon, Respawn?
Yeah.
Are we looking for a Detonator Beam?
Yeah, no, that's the one. And it's also the one that comes on the dungeon trace rifle too.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's actually better on the dungeon trace rifle because of the subjugator perk. Not perk, the subjugator
traits.
Trait.
Origin trait, yeah.
The origin trait, yeah, that. So that makes it significantly better on the dungeon version versus. Well, you said this is arc.
Yeah.
Also, so if the AoE gives you more stacks of bolt charge, that might be nice. I don't know if the AoE does though.
I'm looking maybe at getting rewind rounds with the detonator beam.
For sure, that'd be my role. Yeah, 100%.
What do you reckon about ionized battery? It gives you 30 in the magazine.
What are the other perks? I mean, a bigger magazine.
Okay, so you've got enhanced battery.
Unless there's anything else.
Enhanced battery, particle repeater, which gives you 10 stability, projectile fuse, which gives you 10 range. You've got lightweight battery, which gives you 10 to handling and 10 to reload speed, or tactical battery, which gives you 5 range, 10 reload speed, and 5 stability. But for a trace rifle,
the ammo, yeah, especially with rewind. Well, actually, it kind of negates the rewind. Kind of negates the need for a bigger mag. So,
well, no, if the mag's bigger, it helps kind of keep it topped up. I mean, It's got stability of 76 out of the gate and a range of 67. So if you want to kind of put something like small bore on there, that jumps it up to 74 and 83 for stability.
What are the possible? What's the origin trait besides the Iron Banner one, or is it just
the Iron Banner one? But that Iron Banner one has now kind of been integrated into PvE, hasn't it? So for PvE, it says combatants become less accurate when targeting you.
Okay. I don't know. I'd have to fire it first. My knee-jerk reaction is a rewind and the bigger mag, right? Yeah. But if it needs like stability or range or something like that, I would probably go for whatever magazine gives me more of that. But without actually getting hands on, I'd probably say the extra rounds too. Probably.
I mean, you could also go killing tally and the rewind rounds, because the killing tally gives you final blows, increases weapons damage until it's stowed or reloaded. So
killing tally.
That might work
better with
rewind.
Not rewind, the other one where when you kill things it refills your mag. Oh gosh, damn it!
Yeah, I don't think they've got that. They haven't got that on here. No. They've got Envious Assassin, which is defeating targets with other weapons.
Oh, so it's not even on that weapon? Oh, okay,
no.
Then yeah, rewind would, I guess, be the
I mean, it's got the jolting feedback, so you know.
No, I still think the explosion was better than the jolting feedback, because the explosion... Jolting feedback. I guess it depends on your class. If you're a Titan, jolting feedback will probably be better behind your barricade, I guess. Because that helps you build the stacks faster, right? Builds both stacks faster, or no?
I think so.
Yeah. So I think for a Titan, that'd probably be the way to go. I still like the AoE damage, though, personally. And the AoE damage is just for damaging a target, right?
Yeah.
You just go, I mean, I don't know. They're both good. I guess either one, I suppose. Somebody that knows more might be able to tell us. They both sound really good. What do you want?
We've got the Peace Bond, which is the sidearm, the adaptive burst sidearm returning. And it used to have Surrounded on there and Swashbuckler. And what else was there? Demolitionist, Harmony, Snapshot Sights, and Headstone, Iron Reach, and Focus Fury in the final column. And that's all been swapped out now. Now we have the Rhyme Stealer, Desperate Measures, Headseeker, Desperado, Frenzy, and Killclit. And then in the third column, they swapped the Headstone round. So Headstone's now in the third column. we used to have tunnel vision, subsistence, pulse monitor, killing wind, rangefinder, under pressure, and perpetual motion. And now we've got the headstone in there, moving target, lone wolf, rangefinder's still in there, subsistence is still in there, but we've got the Zen moment. So there's some new roles on there that might be worth looking at for PvE and PvP. I think, a Rhyme Stealer headstone one is a very good combination, isn't it?
That's always a good combination.
Yeah.
And on a sidearm, yeah, you're going to be pretty close too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be pretty close, so those extra armor stacks will definitely come in handy, for sure.
So yeah, that's our returning one. And then again, Tinashu's Mastery is still going to be around, and so's the Archon's Thunder and some of the other weapons. They seem to they take like a new one and a reprised one, and then they'll push a couple out and put them in the legacy weapons. So you have to go and check. But legacy weapons are quite expensive. It's 3 iron engrams and like 20,000 glimmer or something. Whereas if it's actually in the loophole, it's only
once you get the new stuff.
Yeah, it's only 1 kind of engram and 15,000 glimmer, something like that. Anyway, but yeah, check out our guide that I spent a long time this week going back over and updating. So, bit of self promotion there.
So something that I feel needs mentioning: there's a new glaive in the game for those of you that don't play Gambit, and it's kind of a good glaive. All right, all things being considered. Now, it is a Gambit exclusive weapon, so you got to go play a Gambit, which actually is kind of fun right now. And the games go by really fast. Win, lose, or draw, like it's over like that. Let me go over some of these perks. So it is an arc damage glaive, so it's going to be really good this season because arc is freaking everywhere, right? And check out the perks you can get on. You can get Mulligan, which is meh. You can get Lead from Gold, always good on a special weapon. So many people overlook this, especially on a glaive, right?
I do, yeah.
So Lead from Gold, you get Field Prep, you get Replenishing Aegis, which means like when you block, it refills your magazine. It's not bad to have. I still prefer Lead from Gold, personally. Steady Hands, which is meh. You have Shot Swap, which is meh. Tilting a Windmill, it's meh. Immovable Object, meh. Grave Robber, another really good perk on a glaive. But this... I did a lot of research while I was trying to figure out what roles, because there's a lot of good roles on this glaive. And Melee Momentum. So many people recommend this over everything else. Melee Momentum. So try to get Lead from Gold if you can. If you can't get Lead from Gold, Melee Momentum is another one. So Melee Momentum states, melee final blows with this weapon grant it bonus energy and provide increased movement speed while blocking. Doesn't sound that big a deal, right? Except... you could also pair that bad boy with Desperate Measures. It maxes out Desperate Measures like that. You could pair it with Close to Melee, which is a lot of people are saying it's the god roll. Melee Momentum paired with Close to Melee. Glaive Projectile Final Blows improve Glaive Melee damage. Glaive Projectile or Melee damage extends its duration, right? So there's a wombo combo with you got Melee Momentum paired with Close to Melee. They both require a kill, but Close to Melee just kind of keeps it going. You see, and also it's just really good. Then the other role you can get is Swashbuckler, which is another good one. And they put these on here, I think, as a troll, right? So you can get Surrounded, which is good on the glaive, but you could also get Volt Shot, which I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, you can get Volt Shot, let's get it. Volt Shot is not going to be as good to you as the Close to Melee or the Desperate Measures is going to be, dude. I'm sorry. And then it's also got the Jolting Feedback, right? Both of those require you to shoot your glaive instead of just using the melee portion of it. So they put them on there as like just verbs. Like people are like, oh my god, it comes with these perks. We need to get the glaive with that. You don't. You're not going to be reloading a glaive that often. You're not going to shoot an enemy and immediately reload your glaive. All right, it's not how you use a glaive. And if you're all using it, kudos to you. You're doing it wrong. Whatever. But yeah, no, that's it. So I mean, Lead from Gold with Close to Melee or Desperate Measures, or even Swashbuckler. And the other option is Close to Melee. I'm sorry, not Close to Melee. Melee Momentum with Close to Melee, Desperate Measures or Swashbuckler. Now, here's the thing about Desperate Measures, right? Desperate Measures, you get the damage buff, right?
Right.
The damage buff only applies on the projectile kills, but the melee hits will stack Desperate Measures very quickly. So, if you do a couple of melees, you've already maxed out Desperate Measures, and then you just fire the one projectile for lots of damage, and then you melee a couple of things, get the stacks back, and then again, you just fire the projectile and do a bunch of damage. So, not bad. So keep an eye out for that. That is a Gambit exclusive weapon. So while we're on the topic about new weapons, I thought we need to bring that up. It's a good glaive. I've already got the lead from gold close to melee. It's kind of fun to play with, I'm not going to lie. And I recommend it. So go play some Gambit. Game's really fast. You're not going to be there all day like you used to be. And they're giving out orbs like crazy. I think every Gambit match I'm getting 2 or 3 engrams. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if they're just throwing engrams at people. But yeah, like by the end of like 3 or 4 Gambit matches, I had 20 engrams to turn in. So I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. And you can focus it. The focusing just takes 1 engram, not 3, not 5. It's 1 engram to focus the glaive. So yeah, really easy to farm for this thing. 2 games of Gambit, you'll have yourself a god roll probably pretty quick. It only took me an hour to get the roll I wanted to get. So yeah, give it a go.
Nice. Before we go to the TWID though, shall I tell you what's happening this upcoming week in Destiny? I know there's Iron Banner, and that's what I'd really like to tell you. But there is other stuff. There are other rotations and things, and there are things that, as Peroty says, that I kind of guess at in the rotation. Or I like to play a game with Bungie and go, I'm going to tell you that you told me it was probably going to be this, and then you go and change it at the last minute. So should we find out what that is?
Sure. I want to hear how right you are, how wrong you are.
Okay. Fair enough. That's here. Now. This is your weekly rundown of episode Heresy, week 3, starting on February 18th. Valor Saladin returns to the tower for the first time this season, bringing with him the Iron Banner. This is a week-long free-to-play Crucible event, which means there will be no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Power level is disabled, meaning you can go to Iron Banner with whatever weapons and armor you would like. Iron Banner also brings with it challenges and a seal to become an Iron Lord. For episode Heresy, Iron Banner has now been broken up into 2 playlists, with each one replacing an existing node on the Crucible Director. Iron Banner Control will replace the existing Control node, and Iron Banner Quick Play will be the new home for Eruption, Fortress, Tribute, and Rift game modes in the Quick Play playlist. If you need a refresh or just want to know more about the Iron Banner, then check out our most recent guide. Our new weapon is the Arc Adaptive Frame Trace Rifle Warlord Spear, and returning weapon is the Stasis Adapted Burst Sidearm Peacebond. We have a new emblem called Saladin's Pride, and new shader called Banner's Bearer. Episode Revenant brought with it the Iron Banner Memento, which you can put into your crafted weapons to gain access to the shader Iron Banner Keepsake, and title of Seaver's Bane. Plus, the Iron Intent armor set from episode Revenant is still earnable. Act 1 of episode Heresy continues, with Guardians fighting back the Dread and Taken on Oryx's Dreadnought and locating the missing Echo. This act has a new 3-player activity set within the Dreadnought patrol zones called the Nether, where Guardians fight in random and varied encounters with different events and objectives every time. Inside the Nether, players will find unique modifiers and stackable buffs called boons. They increase your power over time. These come in minor, major, and corrupted versions, and various pickups can be hidden in chests and earned throughout the Dreadnought. The Nether has 3 modes: the Nether Exploration for those solo types who want to just explore the Dreadnought, a match-made mode on baseline advanced difficulty, and a selectable non-match-made expert version. From Act 3 of episode Revenant, we have the new exotic mission Kel's Fall, where you can earn the new Void exotic shotgun Slayer's Fang, and new Prison of Elders challenge Kel's Vengeance, which can be found over in the Last City for 2 to 3 players. Act 2 of episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly pinnacle is the Salvation Jade Raid, over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon Sundered Doctrine, which can be found over on the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality's Ager up for grabs, and a whole suite of new weapons and armour. Just make sure to visit Icor over in the tower to pick up the quest Drowning Labyrinth to enter. Over in the Last City we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This new version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 new maps and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins and Kel's Grave, either normal or expert. Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Vostok, with the Siege Hook Ogre kicking off the boss rotation. In the last city on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, Normal and Expert. Also, from episode Echoes, we have the 3 new battleground activities, Delve, Conduit and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The Expert battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Conduit. The Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Strand and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind One features Scorn enemies and the Plague, Sicarus and Veracus. The Ascendant Challenge will be the Forfeit Shrine over in the Gardens of Vasilia. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian is located in Archer's Line, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis in the Anchor of Light. Nightmare hunts Fogoth, Fear, Ghoul, Rage and Tanix Isolation. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Tanix and the Apostate Sniper. On Europa this week, Korodis the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Runes will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Survival. Dares of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Vex, Kabul, and Crota. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 4. Fractithis, Chrysia Amilo, Volpicula, Wolftone Draw, Iotona Draconis, Canis Major, Contingency Plan, Legal Action 2, Outrageous Fortune, Steel Syllabus C14, and Spoiler Alert. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is The Arrival, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Attack, with the Arc Auto Rifle Come to Pass and Goldmag Hive Ogre as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly mission is No Time Left, the Partition mission will be Backdoor, and the Vex Incursion will be Zephyr Concourse. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Straight's cooperative focus campaign mission this week will be Descent. The 12 Guardian Match-Made Excision mission is also available next to the race for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation's Edge Raid Challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Zenith, called Coordinated Efforts. The Kingsfall Raid Challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, War Priest, called Devious Thievery. The Vow the Disciple Challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Acquisition, called Swift Destruction. The Vault of Glass Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Templar, called Out of Its Way. The Garden of Salvation Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Consecrated Mind, called Staying Alive. And the Last Wish Challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, Shirochi, called Witch Witch. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Root of Nightmares over on Neptune, and featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Deepstone Crypt over on Europa, with all challenges available for all encounters, with the Exotic Shotgun Conditional Finality being farmable from the final boss in Nightmares, and the Exotic Rocket Launcher Eyes of Tomorrow from the final boss in Crypt. And because we've had another dungeon added to this episode, it's altered the rotation. Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 1 should be the Prophecy over in the Legends tab, and Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 2 should be the Warlord's Ruin over on the EDZ. The Exotic Mission Rotator will be Node Override Avalon, with Excalibur Exotic Glaive being the main reward, and the Season of the Defiance weapon set. The Exotic Missions, the Whisper and 0 Hour, will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Echoed Warning Part 3, Reticle Arsenal, Dreadnought Secrets, Shock Density, Iron Sharpens Iron, Principal Performance, Violent Pulsations, and Nether Expertise. Lost Sectors Tuesday Gilded Precept on Neptune, Wednesday Thrillerdrome on Neptune, Thursday The Broken Deep in the Pale Heart, Friday The Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart, Saturday Bunker E15 on Europa, Sunday Perdition on Europa, and Monday Veil's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome. Our third featured Nightfall was Seas Fest against Ulnath the Light Cleanser in the Psyops Battlegrounds Cosmodrome. The Shadow Prize Auto Rifle should be the featured Adept weapon. The 6v6 playlist will be Iron Banner Control. The 6v6 Quick Play mode should be Iron Banner Tribute. Countdown Rush should be in the Small Teams Quick Play. Hardware mode in Crucible Labs. And no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week we'll also see bonus Crucible ranks available all week long. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event. And don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the third week of the Final Shape episode Heresy. So yes, this week we had Destiny 2 update 8.2.0.1, and as Peroty is not here to tell you, I'm going to have to tell you. So this week, Heresy, the Nether, they fixed an issue where several healing sources were providing less health restoration than intended. And they've also fixed an issue where some perks could kickstart passive health restoration, resulting in more health restoration than intended. So apparently, some things you were getting more stuff for. And they fixed an issue that were causing high rates of guitar errors. The Nether exploration, they've adjusted some scaling values in addition to the above healing sources changes, because that's the one where you just, if you're solo, you can kind of go in there. And it was as hard as kind of going into the Nether. So it's like, what's the point? Why not just go in the matchmaking? And apparently they're going to continue to monitor how challenging the solo experience feels. Revenant, they fixed an issue where some versions of Onslaught, Tomb of Elders, and Kelsfall were missing modifiers. And they fixed an issue where major fieldworks could not be accessed. So Peroty's not here to tell us whether he's accessed those or not, so we don't know. But they said they fixed it, so we'll take them at their word. Dungeons and raids. So they fixed an issue where raids and dungeons showed burns and surges, which they shouldn't be getting. Exotic missions, the Whisper. They fixed an honestly amazing issue where Tulgor Aspect of Agony was somehow replaced by Jimmy Aspect of Placeholding. We wish you the best, Jimbo. Back to work, Tulroth. Right, okay. Gameplay and investment. Armor, exotic armor, hunters. The Radiance dance machines. Apparently, they've temporarily excluded.
They killed the hell out of them.
Temporarily excluded the Last Word and Dead Man's Tale from getting hipfire range accuracy buffs provided by this exotic. And they're going to revisit this in the future to enable them to interact with the exotic in a bit more balanced manner. They've returned the dodge refund portion, reduced the amount of energy gained from primary weapon kills against Guardians from 100% to 33% when class ability energy is not full. And with full class ability energy, triggering the effect will continue to grant you additional temporary charge. And temporary charges are removed on death after use or on phase transitions. So phase transitions, I think that's when you're kind of playing Rift or playing between rounds and things. So there you go. Armor ornaments, they fixed an issue where the chain piston ornament for the Syntheseps was not present in the armor inspection menu. Okay. Weapons, exotic weapons. They fixed an issue where the microcosm could get heavy ammo from picking up special ammo bricks. This weapon has been re-enabled game-wide. Weapon perks, they fixed an issue where auto-loading holster could be activated without stowing the weapon. Weapon ammo fixed an issue where the standard PvE ammo bricks were granting less ammunition than intended. They fixed an ability. Artifact fixed an issue where the overload machine gun perk was not granting overload to machine guns. Bounties and pursuits, they fixed an issue where the Vault of Glass deep sight weapon pursuit on Hawthorne was not visible. So you can now go there once a week, pick it up for a guaranteed deep sight red border. Collections, they fixed an issue where the Lunar New Year accessories did not appear in collections. And generally, they fixed a weapon issue that could cause a guitar error or the game to crash. So that was your update for this week. Were you updated enough? It was very strange this week to have it on a Thursday, which I think it threw a lot of people because they've got into this cadence of doing it on a Tuesday. The game going down, and then I can just see the vitriol and the nastiness on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. It was like, oh my God, the game's down. It's like, it's down every Tuesday before the reset. It's always down. They do maintenance and things. And this week they were like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to wait till Thursday and then we're going to do it. I didn't see on X or Twitter if there was any vitriol and nastiness, but probably was.
Speaking of which, I just noticed a bug in game right now.
No, you didn't.
Earn pinnacles by completing Pathfinder paths. I've done my Pathfinder all this week, and it still says 0 of 2.
You're not allowed them.
I mean, so it would seem.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a tiny TWAB for this week. This week at Bungie, as we like to call it, for the 13th of February 2025. They've got a new exotic mission. We've talked about it. Beastborn's done it. He's told you how to go and do it. Sort of. They've got...
by the way, for you and everybody else listening, when you go to make sure you have the scotopic rune, go to the mirror. It's the fourth one from the end. You have to have that for the exotic mission. So make sure
the fourth one,
when you go into the nether, you save up enough currency to get that from the mirror. The fourth from the last rune in the mirror. You have to buy it for the exotic mission.
You're really confusing me. The mirror. What mirror?
In the apartment. I call it a mirror. It looks like a mirror.
Tomb? Is it the Tomb of Wanting? Oh, sorry. It's not a tomb. It's the Shaping Slab. Is it the Runic Enhancements or the Mysterium?
Whatever's on the left.
Okay. So I'm guessing the Runic Enhancements is on the left.
Yeah.
So these are where I can get healing, recuperation, prosperity.
Yep. What's from the last one? That one. You need that one for the exotic quest.
I need the Scotopic rune.
Yeah.
Okay. Weapon icons become visible above taken chests. Are you sure I need that one?
Positive. Absolutely positive.
There you go. Didn't tell me that in the 12.
It even tells you to have it equipped. So you have to buy it right here. For those of you in the stream, right here, fourth from the end, Scotopic rune.
Okay. And how many was it? Was it something like 200 of those?
300, I think.
What are those things called? I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head. They are called little worm things, sigil shards that you can only hold 300 of, which is really helpful. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Respawn.
Yep.
So this week in their TWAB, congratulations to the champions. So that was Biggs, Mario Monkey, and Luigi Style. They won the Sundered Doctrine contest mode challenge, I guess, and the trophies, and they didn't do a full-on interview with them in the TWAB, which I'm kind of sad about, because normally when we have like a raid group go through and they go, let's interview them, but no interview for them this week. But we do have an update of the Sundered Doctrine contest mode extension. So due to the issues affecting PlayStation players' ability to sign into Destiny 2, they are planning to make the Sundered Doctrine contest mode available again for all platforms. Specific dates and times will be announced at a later date. So note, this is not an extension to the Sundered Doctrine dungeon race, but rather an additional opportunity for those impacted by the outage to attempt to clear the dungeon whilst the contest mode is available. There you go. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that if it is contest mode, you're guaranteed to get the exotic. So
yeah,
if you go in and practice now, you'll know what to do. Then go in contest mode, beat it, and get the exotic. See? Good plan of mine there. Let's do that.
Honestly, just watch the Fallout video. He's great. He gives you really high quality maps for each one of the rooms.
Yeah, I think I linked that last week.
Yeah.
So we've got the new exotic wheel pun available. Yes, so the Barrow-Dyad and its ornament are available.
I really like the base look of it more than I like the ornament look. The ornament look makes it all look sleek and suave and very where the blue people live.
The Smurfs?
No,
where the blue
Zavala.
people live.
People like Zavala.
It's like, why are we talking about Smurfs?
I'm really having a brain fart right now.
Okay.
Not Fallen, not Taken. Ascended. The Ascended people.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it would come from.
Oh, from the Dreaming City. It looks like
Dreaming City. Thank you.
There you go.
That was hard. Yes, the Dreaming City.
So yeah.
Oh, my brain is going more and more every day.
So yeah, Barrow-Dyad is here. There is an ornament for it available, and yes, there's the exotic mission. And then the new Trials of Osiris arrives tomorrow, but it's already arrived, so we've talked about it. It's here.
And it's gone already by the time you hear this.
No, it's not, because you'll have time on Monday and Tuesday, hopefully.
If you get it out Monday and Tuesday, yeah.
I can. So yes, Trials is here. Go and play it, because there's lots of loot, even if you don't... you can go to the lighthouse. Realistically, we should be going to the lighthouse. I should grab you. We should go to the lighthouse. It may take us all weekend, but we can get there. Let's go do it. We could grab a new passage, the lighthouse passage, and just get some wins on there. It doesn't matter how many losses, and we could get to that lighthouse any time we want over the weekend. And that's it. That's all you get. It's just this weekend, because next weekend, Iron Banner is back. Not just the weekend, the whole week. And they just want to tell you about that in the TWAB this week. And we've already told you about it, so we don't need to kind of go back over it. Bungie.net account uplinking updates. They've got an important update regarding account linking on Bungie.net. For a time now, we've allowed players to link multiple authentication methods to a single Bungie.net profile. We will be continuing to allow linking accounts in this manner, but we're taking away the option to unlink an account once it's been linked to your Bungie ID. The only exception will be Twitch. While we don't have any specific dates for when this change will be implemented, our goal is to enforce it before the end of March. So we want everybody to know with enough time beforehand so that they can kind of do whatever you want to kind of do. And their goal is to protect the integrity of our players' accounts, simplify certain security systems, prevent fraud, and limit activities that go against our terms and services. So that says to me that people have been doing some dodgy stuff somehow. And they've had to kind of rejig certain things. So
what?
Rejig.
Another one of those technical terms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love is in the air. It's not really, because we haven't got Crimson Days, so I'm a bit sad that that's never come back. But 2v2 Clash will have to do these days. But this week
for the new lights, Crimson Days. What is that, Nitedemon?
It was 2v2 clash, and it was only available when we had Valentine's Day, and there was a whole Valentine's Day thing. You could kind of get emotes, you could get sparrows, you could get these two kind of sparrows. Partner one could have one side of a heart, and partner two could have the other heart side. They kind of, you could ride them next to each other, and they look like there's a whole thing.
Okay, I was more talking about the mechanics.
The mechanics.
It is a 2v2, right?
There's 2v2 Crucible event, yes, that you, if you stayed together, you had a bond where you weren't seen on the enemy's radar. But as soon as you moved away from each other, I think they still have this mechanic in some of the game modes that you were then visible on your enemy's radar. And if the enemy killed you, your partner then grew in strength, a bit like with the Alacrity perk. So they had better shields, better aim assist, better reload speed. It was like, and damage as well. So they could then fight against two people. So it was a pretty cool thing. And it was only available, I think, for 1 year, maybe 2 years. But
I think it was a couple of years, yeah.
But yeah,
they
never
had like special weapons that you could only get from Crimson Doubles. Like, remember that heart-shaped bow or something like that? Yeah.
There was a bow. Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh no, it was a bow. It was a bow
too.
ornament, wasn't it? Bow ornament.
Yeah. You also had healing. If you two were close together, you had like increased healing. And when you guys got further apart, like it was like playing attrition or something like that. You would like really take a hit to your healing. I mean, it was a whole thing, you know.
It was a whole thing, and it's not back. But what they've done instead is they've introduced this week a new cosmetic category called Holo Chips. And when activated, Holo Chips will add a visual effect such as energy trails or holographic wings to your Guardian.
Except it's in pause right now.
No, it's back. It's back.
Oh, did it? They fixed it? Okay.
Yeah, they fixed it. It's in your respawns. They'll add an extra flair to your fashion, but they won't impact your gameplay. Similarly, they'll be hidden when you enter combat to avoid adding visual noise during tense firefights. Their first holo chip is available in Eververse right now in the form of a lovely Trails of Hearts, and you can head to the store to claim one for free. Once consumed, holo chips are active for the next 12 real-world hours. And if you want to end the effect early, there's a holo chip extractor available in collections. Players who want to unlock the effect permanently can purchase the holo chip design for 800 silver. And when you do, that holo chip will become available in collections and can be claimed at any time for free. So this is something there's gonna be more of these things. Just
temporary things you could buy that you'd have to buy again if you wanted another one.
Yeah. And I was really tempted this week. I saw the Cheese Forever video literally 10 minutes after it dropped. Like, Cheese was like, go to the Eververse store now, pick this up, then go and buy it, and then get a refund for it, because then you can go into your collections and just keep picking them up and up and up and up and up and up at the end. And Bungie haven't noticed yet. And I was like, do I get out of bed and go and do this? No, I'm all right.
For this one anyway. This one, I put it on because they give you a test one, like you said, they give you a free sample. And I put it on, and it's very cool. It reminds me a lot of Tron, you know, the bikes portion of Tron. And it was really cool. I liked it. But it was all lovey-dovey and hearts and pink and everything. And I'm like, you know, if this was like a black or a deep red or something that wasn't pink hearts, that would be really awesome. So,
that's probably what it's going to be. There's going to be more variations of different things, you know. I've told you, Bungie, if you give me something Star Wars-y, I'm going to have to purchase it when I can get some money.
What would you have as a Star Wars version of this? A trail that just like follows behind you, like a Darth Vader looking cape?
It would probably be like, you know, when the Jedi do that really fast run thing that you only saw in episode 1, 2, and 3.
Okay,
Luke never kind of got to grips with that, did he?
But he did learn to project his entire person. You know?
He did. Yeah. But they didn't know how to do that in the first 3 films, so
correct.
You know. Anyway, there's more Bungie rewards. So our talented friends in the consumer products team can't stop producing amazing Bungie rewards. So we can't wait to share them with you. For starters, the Exotic Armory Collection, Barrow-Dyad, is now available to players who have completed the Derealized mission. So I'm guessing that's the exotic mission. That's the name of it. And the Chosen Path Triumph. And you've got to have completed that by the 5th of June. Or is it the other way around? 6th of May? One of those two. I don't know. Americans do
Something or
things
other.
different to me. Yeah, one of those dates by 9:59 PDT. Parody's not here to help me out.
Did
Additionally,
you? Oh no, you didn't. Damn. Never
Well,
mind. I was going to
additionally,
say.
oh, what? What were
All
you
right.
going to
So when I
say?
completed the dungeon, I got an email from Bungie saying, "Hey, you completed the dungeon. Now you can go to the store and look at the bracelet, the work shirt, and something else." Right? The
Yeah.
work shirt, I actually like it. It's like a
No,
work shirt hoodie. It's pretty
you're
cool.
jumping ahead.
Oh, am I? I'm sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So additionally, to celebrate the revamp of Trials of Osiris, as well as its first weekend available in Heresy, they're launching the new Trials of Osiris ring. And to unlock this Bungie reward, players must complete the Lighthouse passage in the Trials of Osiris. So you've got to go to the Lighthouse, and then you can get the ring. Then there's the shirt. So this is the Daito shirt.
Is it brown with a hoodie?
Is it brown or is it black?
Okay, no,
There's
it's definitely
two.
brown. So we're not talking about the same thing.
Maybe it's my eyes. There's a Daito hoodie, and then next to that there's a Witness jumper. Okay.
No. The thing I'm talking about is it's set. It's a bracelet. It's a quote
Oh
work
no,
shirt,
that's
brown work
that.
shirt with a hoodie.
That was last week's. That was last week's things.
Well, it was for the dungeon clear, dude.
Yeah, that was
No,
last week's. That
the
was
thing
last
about
week's
it
TWAB.
is because I did the dungeon this week, like full on through completion, right? I got an email, and when you click on the email, you have to wait in line to go into the store, right?
Yeah.
Which is bonkers to me. There's a loading thing at the bottom saying your place number whatever, and you'll be able to come into the store because they want to make sure that it's first come first served. Like what? So that's crazy. And then when I was looking at the shirt, at least they actually specify it now. It says upon purchase of the shirt, please allow 6 to 9 months for shipping. What? Months, dude. Not days, not weeks. Months. Oh my god, I saw that. I just died a little inside. It's like that's crazy. 6 to 9 months to get a shirt.
Yeah.
Just
But they
wild.
need to get the orders in before they can kind of make them. Imagine if they kind of just bulk made thousands and then nobody bought them. They'd be selling them off really cheap and they'd be losing money. So they have to get the
but
orders in first before they can
even
make
if
it.
you get orders in, it doesn't take 6 to 9 months
It does.
and make.
It does.
Does not.
They don't use small children. They use adults.
You could use machines and it would still be faster. You can
Okay.
manufacture the machines to do this and it would still be faster.
Well, obviously not.
I think it's because they're not using children. They have one sweet little old lady that does this as a side job, doing it by hand.
Possibly.
Somebody's grandma. Bungie outsourced one of their grandmas to do this for us.
So, additional to the ring, they're also adding 3 new items to their apparel collections. So, they've got the Daito themed anorak or sweatshirt, or a Witness knitted sweater. So, you've got 3 more things that you can kind of go and get.
Hey, ugly sweater
yeah.
contest for Christmas.
There you go. Last but certainly not least, we are launching the Art of Destiny Volume 3, spanning the Curse of Osiris to the final shape. And this art book, lovingly curated by the art directors of Destiny 2, showcases the beautiful concept art, key art, and amazing in-depth look into the stunning visual world of Destiny 2. And the pictures they showed, yes, stunning, nice. Would like to have it. Probably can't afford it. It's expensive. Maybe it's a Christmas thing. Okay. So yeah, that's the stuff that you can buy this week that they're kind of telling us about. But Respawn,
Yeah.
you're up next because there's more D2 fashion feedback.
No. Okay, cool. What do we got?
Where they give us a name, they give us a description, and then they go, "What do you think?"
All right, here we go. Mariachi. Okay. Sorry. Inside joke in my brain. Mariachi Pistolero. Pistolero. Okay, gotcha. It's a musician gunslinger. Is basically what that means. Wild West futurism with a Mexican lens, monochromatic elements alongside high saturation, vivid colors precious metal linings and fringe. Skull, I don't know that word. Caricature. Reading is power. Skull caricature and bullet bandolier accents. Okay, there we go. I have a high school education. Nah, sad part is I have 2 college degrees and I still can't read. Okay. Crane martial artist. Minimalistic armor collection inspired by Kung Fu warriors. Mostly baggy cloth that allows for martial arts training and ease of movement. Uniform can be white or black. Tight cloth wraps can be incorporated around the hands and feet. A cloth belt around the waist indicates rank based on the color. Black is best. Potentially a head covering akin to a ninja. Oh, I like that. Now, how do you go up in rank on it though, or are they just saying this for like flavor text or whatever? Like, is this one of those types of like armors where like the more you wear it, the more the belt goes up? That's weird.
Doubt it.
I mean, yeah, that would be
it's
out
not
of
coming
Bungie's
with
wheelhouse,
accessories.
but
No.
come on, man. I mean, they said it. I was hoping. Anyway, Atlantean Royal Guard, regal armor sets inspired by the mythical sunken city of Atlantis. These could feature opulent designs with gold, turquoise, and intricate patterns that resemble coral and ancient structures, relics of a lost underwater kingdom. Armor drawing inspiration from Japanese tree spirit mythology, ethereal translucent elements, natural components like runed stones or carved wood, living elements like moss, leaves, and moving branches. They had me until they got to the moss, leaves, and moving branches. That is kind of a deal breaker for me. But everything else sounds really cool. Kami Kodama. Why does that sound familiar? Armor drawing inspiration from Japanese tree spirit. Oh, tree spirit. There we go. Tree spirit mythology. Ethereal translucent elements, natural components like runed stones. Wait a minute. I just messed something up, you guys. Okay. Let's backtrack a little bit. Let's read this correctly so I give y'all proper information. The Atlantean set, okay, is the regal armor set inspired by the mythical sunken city of Atlantis. These could feature opulent designs with gold, turquoise, and intricate patterns that resemble coral and ancient structures, relics of a lost underwater kingdom. And then it's Kami Kodama, armor drawing inspiration from Japanese tree spirit mythology, ethereal translucent elements, natural components like runed stones or carved wood, and this has living elements like moss, leaves, and moving branches. There you go. Oni, the Japanese demon. We got horned mask with oversized tusks, fangs, colorful layers of dyed cloth sashes, molded bodysuit, or breastplate invoking red demonic musculature. Gauntlets resembling claws with non-standard number of digits. That sounds pretty cool. Also, adding a little bit to my rage, I was playing with a Titan in a Nightfall, and he was a proper red dragon in his armor and everything. I was so jealous and very angry. Anyway. So mad that we don't have a good dragon. Alright. April Fools. Less literal interpretation of April Fools. This armor would represent something outside the bounds of D2's Guardian aesthetic, over-indexing on cuteness or silliness. And then we have the Court Jester. That one says a prominent jester cap, jerkin, or tunic with bright, courtly colors. Bells on the helm, feet, or limbs that interact with the environment somehow. Masquerade-style faceplate pulling references from theatrical masks. Interacts with the environment somehow. How interesting. Now, Bardic Traveler. Light armor featuring dyed leathers, cloth, and traveling pouches. Prominently featured medieval musical instrument, likely a lute, hip-holstered rapier, short sword, or other small weapon, large beret or feather-adorned tricorn cap. That sounds like Peroty all over it. And that's it. Oh, goodness. We also wanted to share something else for you as a... We also wanted to share something else with you as well as a fun treat, because it's very cool. Also, because you won't shut up and stop asking for it. Here's our first ever ornament for Verity's Brow that's coming to Codename Frontiers with less bones and more lasers. There you go. For Birdie's Brow, that's
The Warlock.
Is that a Warlock? Okay, yeah, that's a Warlock, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, there you go.
And then we're going to be celebrating Black History Month, and we can celebrate it with Bungie. And they've got the Black History Month emblem if you donate $10 or more to the Southern Poverty Law Centre through the Bungie Foundation campaign. And you can click the link there, and that will kind of go there. And we've all supported Game to Give and given lots of money and time and effort. And another year, an incredible, successful edition of the Game to Give. Thank you to all the Guardians that have helped us beat our $2 million goal and reached a mind-blowing number of
2,753,931.
There you go. That's how much they've raised. This couldn't have been possible without your donations, your fundraising campaigns, your many social posts, and without the help of more than 200 content creators that have worked tirelessly on bringing attention to our cause. From the bottom of their hearts, thank you. Yeah, if you help support that, you did a good thing. I did a good thing. You did a good thing. I purchased a shader, and I was happy with it. My Stormtrooper can now look like he's a comic book hero. Oh dear. Another Parody's player support report without Peroty. So, this week, Heretical Halitation Emblem availability. The emblem is showing as a placeholder asset instead of its final art. This will be fixed in a future update. Additionally, last week we updated our dates and times for this Twitch emblem that we initially announced to be on the 31st of the 1st TWID. To help avoid issues that can occur with overlapping Twitch drops, they've changed the Heretical Halitation campaign to the following. So new Twitch sub-drops for all opted-in Twitch channels streamed Destiny 2 between February 11th, 9 AM and March 4th, 8:59 PT. You'll get the emblem. Subscribe or gift a sub to your favourite opted-in Destiny 2 streamer. There are some known issues. So the Nether, there's lots of known issues there. Sometimes the Tomb of Want, a prime request, does not progress after meeting step 3 and 4 requirements. I think that happened to me. I was like, is this working? Am I working? Am I doing it right? I don't know. So it's good to know it's a known issue.
No.
Yeah. The bolt charge boon description should say, at maximum charge, any ability damage generates a powerful bolt of arc lightning at the target's location. Don't know what it says, but it should say that. Several lines in each language for Memory of Savathun, Memory of Oryx, and Memory of Zevirath are cut off or not played at all.
It says final blows grant bolt charge, while amplified final blows grant additional bolt charge and gain increased bolt charge stacks when you have none. Doesn't say anything about using abilities.
So yeah, at maximum charge, any ability damage generates a powerful bolt of arc lightning at the target's location.
And I think that's why it works with your Titan barricade, because when you're doing things behind the barricade, the damage you're doing, because the barricade's like increasing it or whatever, counts as ability damage. And that's why you're just raining down bolts of lightning, I would assume.
There you go. Sundered Doctrine. When damaging Shrieker boss, players receive a critical damage feedback, but damage is actually regular base damage. Also, when tracking Ikora's Drowning Labyrinth quest, completion of certain steps may stop progress on the next steps. These are all known issues. Upon a player reaching the rally banner for the second boss, previous areas will become soft kill volumes, which may kill teammates who are behind. So everybody stay together. There you go. Abilities. The on-point Gilded Triumphs description strings mention stasis, but it should say strand. I do believe Parody's already gone over that one. The Hunter Arc aspect, Ascension, depletes all super energy when used during a roaming super.
That's
the
crazy.
On the Prowl. Sorry?
I said that's crazy.
The On the Prowl Hunter aspect currently grants a small chunk of ability energy over the 7 seconds duration of each stacks instead of all at once. The Ascension Hunter aspect drains all super energy if it's used in a roaming super and does not work with certain mods and exotic armors. The Storm's Keep Titan aspect does not synergize with the Arbor Warden. The Volatile Marksman artifact mod is restoring class ability energy too quickly. The Ionic Sentry Arc Warlock aspect does not synergize properly with the exotics and any other part of the Arc subclass. Weapons, class-specific weapons, swords, and exotic glaives can be used with any class. This is not intended. Yes, we already know that one. The new competitive weapon, the Redrix Esteric, can only be earned once in the first week when doing the placement matches. So make sure you do it the first week, and then you can do it as many times as you like after that. Crafted Vault of Glass weapon incorrectly allows deep sight harmonizers to be used. Okay, don't use them on there. The Fatebringer Time Lost doesn't have a socket for mementos. The Discord and Harmony perks count down before the player switches to the necessary weapon. That's an issue. Armor. The Stoicism Heart's Pledge ornament does not show cloth on the feminine body type. The Tempest Strikes Hunter aspect does not activate the Nightmare Fuel perk on sealed Arhamkar Grasps. The Blight Ranger's exotic perk, Voltaic Mirror, does not trigger Bolt Charge when cancelled. Memento shaders can be previewed on armor in the armor management screen. This is not intended, and mementos aren't being considered for use on armor. General.
That's why I couldn't see it, because who was it? One of the hunters I was playing with was like, yeah, no, you could put mementos on armor. I'm like, bro,
no,
where?
You can't.
I don't see a slot for that. He goes, bro, I'm looking at it. I can see it. I'm like, I can't even do that.
Yeah, no, you could preview it to see what it looked like, but no, you can't. Generally, the Grandmaster Triumph references a previous episode, and the ammo bricks give less ammo than intended. And there's a complete list of issues. Please go here. We won't go there, because we've already been there and looked at it. And Peroty's told us there's lots of issues.
Yep.
And then there's some art of the week and movies of the week, if you want to check those out, because that's the end of the TWAB for this week. But we've not done it just yet, because there is a Respawn's Report Roundup, where Respawn rounds up all the extra news that's come out this week, and he's going to tell you lovingly and guide you through all the issues and all the resolved issues and all the things that Bungie have noticed and been told that are broken.
All right, fair enough. Whoa, that is quite a bit. Hold on. Oh, that is all today. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. You spent a lot of time on X, didn't you? All right. Due to an issue, the option to purchase holochips. Okay, you said that one already. Update: we have solved the issue with Ardent Adoration holochips. These can again be acquired, unlocked, and claimed from player collections when purchased. Huzzah! Clarification for players unlocking intrinsic perks and catalysts for the Barrow-Dyad exotic. The Moment of Clarity upgrade requirement on Step 5 of the Dryadic Ascension quest will be available when Act 2 launches. They time-gated the hell out of that. That's crazy. Daggone. Wow. Anyway, I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew they were time-gated, but Act 2 time-gated? Good Lord Almighty. Anyway, we're investigating an issue where the 0-hour exotic mission cannot be completed. Just full stop. Just can't do it. More information will be provided when available. Update to 0 hour. We have disabled the mission until a fix can be implemented. You can't beat it, and now you can't even play it.
You can't even see it. Yeah, it's gone. I was like, I logged on the other day to record the Lost Sect. I was like, where's that gone? That nobody told me that's going. Yeah. So yeah, it's meant to be there, but it's not there now.
No, it's not meant to be there right now. That's the problem. Update for 0. Oh wait, no. Okay, here we go. After investigation, we have discovered that Finality's Augur, the exotic found in Sundered Doctrine, isn't currently dropping as expected. We are actively investigating the root cause and discussing options to address the issue as soon as possible. All right, follow up. We've identified the underlying issue impacting Finality's Augur drop rates. We are looking to address this as soon as tomorrow, but need to validate the fix and ensure a clean deployment. Alongside this fix, we're also planning to increase drop chances for this exotic when completed in Sundered Doctrine events. Stay tuned for updates. Yes, it's going to go from 1% to 1.1%, guys. It's going to be amazing. Also, I'm making those numbers up. I have no idea what the drop chance is. Okay, Bungie Help. We have deployed a hotfix that ensures that players won't lose their Curio of the 9 items. Won't be lost if claimed from the Postmaster Vault. Okay, so that's bad English, or am I having a stroke? I think that's bad English. Okay.
It could be a stroke.
Well, no, it says A hotfix that ensures that players won't lose their curio of the night items won't be lost.
Yeah.
Won't lose, won't be lost. All
No.
at once. No, that's
there's
bad
no
English.
there's no loss. There's no loss of any curios.
There is a loss of English, however. Moving on.
There is.
Update. We have deployed a hotfix that has enabled Finality's Augur to drop in the Sundered Doctrine dungeon. All players, including those who completed the dungeon this week, will have the chance to get this exotic to drop when completing the dungeon. What? Okay. All players, including the ones that have already done it this week, will have a chance for it to drop. Isn't it farmable? So, like, or
Nope.
is it farmable,
Nope,
but
nope,
you can only
no,
get one chance at the exotic per week?
It's you can only do one character. No, 3 characters per week, can't you? It's not in the rotation. It's a new dungeon.
I'll be honest with you, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've given a damn about those kinds of
If
things.
it's in a rotation, you can
Mhm.
farm it. If it's not in a rotation and it's just like the Salvation Judge raid.
Well, it is in a rotation. This entire act is in the rotation.
No, it's not in the dungeon rotator. And same with the Salvation Judge raid is not in the rotator for the raids. So those are up each week. You have to go and do those each week. You get 3 chances on your account. That's it.
Okay.
I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you.
I mean, yeah. Okay, sure. Moving on. Dungeon, here we go. Alright, we're investigating the following issues for Trials of Osiris. Acquiring Oh my lord. Access is requiring Lightfall ownership instead of the final shape. Follow-up. Characters who complete a passage with a 7-win streak can't use their alt characters for trials. The bonus adept chance for playing with a full fire team is not firing. More information will be provided when available. Everything is broken. Oh my goodness. All right. Now that I've fallen off of what I was trying to do. And last, nope, we got 2 more. We're also targeting a February 13th/14th for the monolithic memento fix to go up. For the monolithic memento fix up to go out to qualifying players. Well, okay, sure. Update: we've hit a hurdle while deploying the memento to players. We are hoping to resolve and send the memento next week. Not this week, guys. Maybe next week. Try again. Okay, that's fun. Moving on. And now it's the last one. Update: we've sent out a hotfix to address 2 things. Trials access requiring Lightfall instead of the final shape, and your alt characters not being able to launch into Trials if your main completes a passage with a 7-win streak. Sound off if you are still experiencing these issues. And that is all they have to say. Huzzah and bazinga.
Bazonga.
Bazinga. Yeah, that was a mouthful this week, huh? That's what
It was, yeah. I do have some videos and some tips. Do you have any this week?
Just more Plunder the Booty and Mactics, man. They're coming up with some really phenomenal builds. I
They
even
are,
had to
yeah.
point out somebody this week who's like, "Oh man, have y'all tried ChatGPT? They give really good builds." And then a couple days later, "Do you guys have any good builds?" I was like, "Why don't you use ChatGPT?"
Yeah,
And
Plunder
then
the
I
Booty
told them
this
about
week.
Mactics and Plunder the Booty. Yeah. So
This week, yeah. We've got the DPS God, which was the Arc Titan that Blue recommended me this week, and he walked me through building it, but he's been using it with Thunderlord and the Barricade and Arc, and yeah, it's been fantastic. But yeah, he's got Dyad Monster, Bungie Cooked, Lightning Nukes, well done Bungie. There's just like so many builds that Plunder has kind of got out there this week, which are fantastic. And also, we have 3 best new builds for all classes, each in 3 minutes or less, and that's by above this week. Then we have the Arc Titan build that gets infinite bolt charge by Sneaky Beaver. The 360 Gaming TV have got lots of guides out this week, so we're going to go over these. We've got the Drowning Labyrinth quest guide, week 1 and 2 worm collectibles. We have the Dyad Ascension quest steps 5 and Echoed Warnings quest step 15. There's also the 5 font secrets. I think I missed that off last week, so I'll put that in this week. The Barrow-Dyad Exotic Mission Guide, the Taken Path quest and how to unlock it. The 18 ossified fragment locations in the Dyad Ascension quest. And we've got the exotic mission Derealized, the jumping puzzle guide for that as well. And then Fallout Plays this week asks you a question, are any of the exotics actually good? So he gives his view on whether any of the 3 new exotics are any good. And you should watch it, because
The dungeon one is amazing. I'm not going to get into the details, but it's kind of amazing.
No, you've got to watch Fallout for that.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the details. I don't want to take away from him.
Have you got anything else?
Lights that aren't here. Yeah, like we've had questions this week that I've had to point out.
Okay.
3 people you guys should always watch: Plunder the Booty, Mactix, and Cheese Forever. Right. The first 2 just giving you all kinds of wacky and good builds, including a series Mactix has called Will It Build. So it's off meta builds that they're like, hey, would this work? Oh my god, this is amazing. Kind of situations, right? And then, of course, Cheese Forever, if you don't know, is just a guy that just like finds anything and everything exploitable and or wrong with the game, just like full stop. So definitely 3 channels to keep an eye on for the new lights that are just getting into the game. It'll save you some time in the long run. Yeah, for sure. Also, the 2 Titans and a Hunter website has a bunch of links to things like D2 Armor Picker, Light.gg, just a bunch of websites that will make your quality of life of this amazing, sometimes video game, just that much better. So
yeah, and if we can make a guide on it, we try and make a guide on it. So you can check our guides. But I think that's it.
Huzzah.
And there are new patrons and patrons that we've lost along the way.
Oh no.
And I have not got an updated list. So I'm going to hand it back to Peroty from last week to tell us why we want to thank all our patrons. And if you want to become a patron, it gives you all the information for that. And then he's going to hand it back to us to say, ta-ra.
Huzzah. Bazinga. Ladavaderi. Deuces.
Because he's doing the outro as well. So we're going to say goodbye now. And then you've got last week's goodbye as well.
Yay.
You know who else is wonderful?
Me.
Those lovely patrons.
You're wonderful. Demon's wonderful. Our lovely patrons like Zep Orbit and Renard Calant, who can't be threatened with a good time. And we know, we've tried. We've tried really hard, and it can't be done. Our Otter Dance Strip of the Scarlet Cam dedicated to M64. Our grenade throwers, our lovely grenade throwers. Feral, Golden God 1562, Noble, Fire Squad 1688, and the man Conan from Texas. Lovely human beings. And Gravy Jeff holding down with Deacon's Day 1 raid team. You know, he tried hard. He really did. I saw that solo run going. He was so close to the world's first, but didn't quite get there. That's okay. Because our lovely patrons are wonderful, spectacular people who've gone to patreon.com/TTH and said, we like what you do. Here's some money. Keep doing it. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. You appreciate us. And I appreciate that we've reached the end. So thank you for joining us. Your Titans, your Parody, and Nitedemon, your Hunters, no one responds to real life.
Boy.
We are on YouTube. Go there and get all the things. All the things are there. All the things up to and including the podcast, where you can find wherever you get your podcasts. You can email the show, 2titansanthunter@hotmail.com. On YouTube, you can find every new episode, every weekly update video, every live stream. Nitedemon works very hard trying to guess what Bungie's going to do next. Reward him with your likes and your follows and your comments. 2titansanthunter.com is where we put all the links to all the videos we talk about, all the links we mentioned, or just, the things we mentioned that, it'd be nice if we could send you there and you too could read or see or build what we're building. 2titansanthunter.com will get you there. Patreon.com/TTH are our lovely patrons. Coffee.com/2titansanthunter, that's ko-fi.com. If you want, a more casual encounter and say, Nitedemon works hard, here's some coffee or tea, or, here's some food that he can throw into his massive children and have them fight over it. Twitch.tv/no one responds in real life for the live show when he decides to stream. And when he doesn't decide to stream, then he's not there. Twitch.tv/2titansanthunter because, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you, because it also exists. Do we use it? Sometimes. Only one way to find out. Go there and subscribe. Follow along. And we've come to the end. We've covered all the things. We've talked about all the updates. And so Bungie's just waiting to publish on something now that is going to drop as soon as we're finished. So Respawn, say goodbye. And we may have already lost Demon. He is left for the forest.
Deuces.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Efficiency at its finest.
Not really.
I know.
Just not organised. Not.
Man.
We stand by our moniker of, look, we are not YouTubers, not streamers. We're not professional. As you know, it should just be, we are not professional.
I was going to say, we are YouTubers. We are streamers. We don't get paid for it. We're not professional. But damned if we don't try.
There are. It's tried. Yeah, we try. Anyway, goodbye.
Deuces.